Okay. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. So I'll be dealing with wireless today. Now,
Wireless.
before wireless, yes, let me know that I'm done with wireless so that I
Okay.
focus on other things. Now, normally, I say that we have under network media, we have of two types. You have cable and non-cable, which is wireless. As when I treated the network component, basic network components. Under network media, we have cable and wireless. Now, when I was talking about wireless, just has to be. It has to do with something that is not cable, and is of a. It has to do with waves of a particular frequency. Normally, in the world, we have electromagnetic wave of ranges, like you can see here. We have gamma ray, X ray, and the rest, light ray, and all of that, and all of that. But there
You're
is.
not showing your screen, oh.
Oh, sorry.
Are you recording it?
Yes, I
You're
am.
recording it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So as I was saying before that we have wireless as a medium of propagating data from one device to another device or host to host or to device. Now, the wireless we're talking about is just waves, electromagnetic waves. And in the electromagnetic wave spectrum, as you can see here now, we have different spectrums. We have gamma ray, X ray, and others. So many rays of different frequencies and different wavelengths. But the one that we'll be dealing with is of is the one out of these frequencies. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Under wireless, all the wireless that we are using, they fall under this frequency. And these are only free frequencies that you can use without being prosecuted all over the world. These are the free frequencies that you can use. That is why people that design electronics like phone, wireless, everything about wireless, like your Bluetooth and all of that, they all design it to work this frequency range. So most of the wireless devices that we are using, our phones are using this frequency. Sorry, this 2.4 to this and 5.7 to that. So these are the frequencies that we use, common in wireless technology that we use in our world. Now, wireless, um, hold on. Now, example of wireless you have is something like this. When you have a router with wireless, you can still connect to LAN and all of that, but this one has wireless connection, and this is what we use to represent wireless in this course. Whenever you see this, it means that it is wireless. I'll still come back to this later. Then talked about this, talked about that. Um, okay. Hello, are you still there?
Maybe that's fine. I don't know why. Èmi ni mo tì. Mo ṣe tí ń sìn sí was coughing. Was coughing. Atẹ́gùn yẹn pọ̀.
Hello, are you there?
No, I'm here. I'm coming. Sorry, sorry, please.
So I can continue, Abi. Space and all of that. But the frequency that we use for our wireless communication is of this range, 2.4 and 5 point, as I showed you before earlier. So, the wireless,
Okay.
there is a standard that been designed for all wireless technologies that we use in the world or in planet Earth. And that standard is IEEE 802.11. That's the standard that was made, though there has been upgrade and improvements and all of that, different kind of versions of the standard. We have this also, that, and that. Now they have their release dates. Like this one was released 1997, and the rest have their own respective dates. Now this particular one
Okay.
works with 2.4 gigahertz. 11A
Which one?
works with this, 11B works with that, and all of that. Now, even in all those standards, this 11, the data speed it carries is 2, 11A is that, and the rest, and all of that. So, all right, sir. So, anytime you see any device written with, for instance, this standard, like now, if you're buying your AP access point, what I mean by APA access point
Okay.
is this kind of gadget that people put in offices, even at home, that they use now to
Yes.
connect
Yes.
to wireless and all of that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they all have their own respective standards. Now, if the API I bought is made of this standard 11B, it means that this is the frequency it transmits with, and this is the data size, data speed, and it can cover up
Okay. That
to
802, right?
802, yes, 802.11b.
No.
11B is different from 11G, 11N, and all of that. So if
Yes.
you see any device that is of this make, 11B, it means that the frequency is using to propagate is this, and the data size it carries is this, and the distance, maximum range, radius is this.
Okay.
So it's just for you to have awareness so that whenever you are buying a device, you should not know what you are actually buying and whether it can serve you. Like this end now, if I'm buying anyone that is of this standard, it means that it can carry data speed of this. Of course, it's very good. And the radius is 250. And it can work with both. So this one is very good. As this one was designed as the year 2007, but there has been upgrades recently. Like we have AX, AN, and all of that. This is not a good site. Let me see if I can get something better. Wireless standards. So it means that anytime you are buying any gadget, even your own, like now, okay, explain standard coming. Okay, I think I've seen what I'm looking for. This one is not too good.
Check one thing.
Hold on, come. Okay, normally, see this. Now, almost the same thing I have on my um material. This is 11, 802.11. These are the characteristics of 802.11 and all of that, all of that. I have up to N. But I'm just trying to tell you that we have a better standards. Okay, we have other standards like AX, AJ, AH, AD, and all of that. And they all have their respective characteristics too. And all of they are higher than N and all of that. Now, what is important in this as an engineer is that you need to know, be aware of compatibility. Is very, very important.
Okay.
Backward compatibility. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So now look at, if I am buying a gadget that has this standard as a Wi-Fi, it can, okay, now the property of this one is telling me that it can carry 450 Mbps. Um, okay, bandwidth is up to one 1300 Mbps. And can I see the radius? How far it can go? It may not be, it's not stated here, but it might be that this, I might like this thing so much. Maybe the radius can go very far and all of that. And I decide to buy it. If I buy it, I need to consider backward compatibility. Backward compatibility. If you can see what I just highlighted. Oh, this not going out. You see the compatibility with 11A, B, G, and N. Sometimes you can buy a
Yes.
particular standard that is not compatible with some other backward standard. And with that, you may have issues.
Okay.
Like I can buy an AP, and it's not everybody that will be able to connect to that AP, that access point, because of
Maybe
standard
because they are using
compatibility.
old system.
Yes, not really
Maybe
old
because they are using
system.
old
They
system.
might be using old wireless technology. Maybe their own is A or B or something. Like, let me check what is my own. My own can be, you are seeing my screen, right? I need to go to
Yes.
wireless and check what the standard that is made of my own. It takes time. Just as you're waiting for it, let's still show you some things too. I'm looking for something that has a good table. Um, okay, this is my adapters. Now this is my wireless. My own is using N. Can you see my screen?
Okay. Yes.
I think my own is N. I've already known that it's 802 N, 802.11N. But just to confirm it, I need to go to some places and all that, but I can't details. It's N actually, 802.11N. So it means that I am compatible with N. And looking at this place too, sorry. Okay, looking at this place, they say that there are different characteristics. This one has its own characteristics. This one has its own characteristics and all of that. Now, my own is 11N, and 11N is backward compatible with G and B. So it's not compatible with A.
Okay.
My own is not compatible with A. So it's possible that if I have a gadget that is using A, I won't be able to connect to it. So what I'm trying to say is, in essence, is that different wireless technologies have their own respective characteristics. And whenever you are buying any particular one, or you want to use any particular one, or you want to install, you need to know their characteristics so that it now guide you into knowing what you need to buy and what you need to use. And again, most of these new wireless technologies, like the one I opened before, like these ones, is GNM. After and we have AC. AC, you see that AC can carry 1300 Mbps and the rest and all of that. It might even go, the radius might go very far. Like the radius of N is a 450. I think so. Okay, radius of n is 250. This one can go as far as maybe 400 or 500. Now, how does this one benefit me? No, this one. How does it benefit me? There's a possibility that I have a coverage, like I have somewhere to cover wirelessly in my working place or environment, and it covers up to like 1,000 meters, or let's say 500 meters. Now, in 500 meters, that means maybe a compound that covers from here till here, and everything is like from there to there is let's say 700 meters. Now, if I drop AP here that is of n, the radius covers 250, 250. So it may not be able to cover the whole 700. And there's a possibility that I could buy 11 AC. AC can have a radius of 500. So if I have AC device here, 500 here and 500, it can even cover more. It can even cover more if I'm using AC. Now, if I decide to use AN, continue with AN, that means where I think this signal stops, I need to put another AP that will extend it. You understand? Under AP is almost like will function like a repeater. It will trap this signal and extend it and extend it. Instead it goes to this one, it will trap this where this one end and extend it. So there's a possibility that in such, if I'm installing this kind of place, installing my AP in this kind of place, I might need like 3 APs of 11N. Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. So it's possible that I can use AP, wireless technology of 11N, about 3, but I can use one of 11AC and get what I want. But when I'm using higher technology, I still need to consider backward compatibility. It's very important. Let's not be that you got something that is very good that so many people won't be able to have access to it. Now, looking at sorry, okay. Looking at what I just explained, was something close to this. I have access points that may not be able to cover to this place. Okay, to this place, for instance. That means I need to get to access point 1 and access point 2. And whenever I'm having this kind of connection, ordinarily, if I'm using only one, the coverage, their network coverage is referred to as BSS. BSS is, I think, is basic service set. Okay, is basic service set. But if I have another BSS, if I have another BSS that overlap with BSS 1, if I have BSS 2 that overlap with BSS 1, in totality, in entirety, the whole network is referred to as ESS. ESS is extended service set. So, but some people don't like establishing. I'm looking for my mouse. Most people don't like using. Personally, I myself too, I don't like using multiple BSSs. I prefer having one that will cover a longer distance. That's why most time it's good to get higher wireless technology. Now, if paraventure or in any situation where you actually need to use ESS, ESS, you have to overlap the other BSS. And when you overlap it, make sure that it is not anything less than 10%. Like now, this is an office, and this is another office. No, there's sometimes when you get to say a particular organization, if it's not well installed, for instance, if I have a BSS here in one office and I have another one here, that means if I am in this office, as soon as I move to this place, I've changed network entirely. Now, although I've not talked about IP address, it could be possible that this network gave me 192.168.1.2. It gave me dot 1.2 here. And in this place now, it gave another person 192, the same IP address. Now, if I have 192.168.1.2 here, and when I move to this place in another office, I might start having what we call IP conflicts. Why? Is because this AP here, I've already assigned someone to be using this IP address, and I'm coming with this IP address. So there will be conflict. So to avoid this kind of conflict, you always try to your overlap your BSS with at least 10%. You know the distance that AP cover, you overlap it with the other distance, make sure that they are up to about 10% so that there won't be this kind of things I've explained. So if you have ESS, if this one give dot 192.168.2, this one will recognize it. So they won't be having a crash of IP address. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Hello?
I do. I do.
Okay. So now, ordinarily, I don't really teach so much in wireless because I believe that most times people can easily configure wireless and all of that. But the only thing I like teaching about wireless are basic terms or basic things that you're supposed to know as an engineer, at least to know something more than other people that can do try and error in configuring of network uh, access points. Okay, now there's something you need to know about when you are configuring access point. You need to know about what we call authentication, authentication method, authentication method. In in wireless configuration, we have different authentication method. Authentication method is the way um, a connection is being established. That's my own understanding. Authentication, the way you are being allowed into the network or to get connected. We have
Hello?
one method that
Hello?
is
Hello?
okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
The thing went off.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Was network.
It went off.
Okay. So I was just talking about authentication method, and I said authentication method is just the I'm just trying to explain it in my own understanding. Authentication method is just a way
Okay.
or how one is being allowed into a network to get connected, how one is being allowed to get connected into a network or into a communication. It's different from encryption anyway. Just the way you are being allowed into a communication. One, you have what we call open authentication. We have another one called PSK. PSK. PSK is pre-shared key. Then we now have another one we call EAP. EAP. EAP means Extensible Authentication Protocol. This means, I'll explain this one later on for you. This is when you are using a Radius server. I'll talk about more about this when I come to Radius. I will teach you how to configure Radius server. Now, when you are configuring your access point, you know how to configure your phone so that you can browse with your, how to configure your phone so that your laptop can connect to your phone, right? Using Tetrin or
Yes.
hotspot.
Yes.
Okay. If you don't give your hotspot password, that means anybody can connect to your network.
Let's
That
open.
method of authentication is open, no password. So that's what it means. But when you password it, that password is referred to as pre-shared key, PSK. So that's
Okay.
just when you didn't password it. This is when you passworded it. This one is when you are using a server, a Radius server. I'll talk about more about this. Now, another thing you need to know is that there are encryption patterns. Or even before I talk about encryption, let me talk about uh, security protocols. We have wireless security protocols. Wireless security protocols. Sorry that I can't write well. So you're having Qatar. Hello?
Yes.
Oh, Bele.
Hello. I can hear you. I'm Qatar. It's stress.
Bele. And it has not even
It's
started.
stress.
Cold have not started
I like.
yet. As in rain. Is it just
No.
this
If
rain that fell?
no, if I'm stressed, if I didn't rest well,
Oh, oh,
I get Qatar. It's from
wow.
stress. If I sleep now very well this night, by tomorrow I should not sit again.
Okay, wow. Bele. Okay,
Mm.
so wireless security protocols. We have of two types. We have web. Under wireless security protocol, we have web. Sorry. We have web and we have WAP, WPA. Now, web means wired equivalency protocol. Wired equivalency protocol. Why WPA
So
means,
you said on that web.
I said we have wireless security protocols. We have of two types. We
Okay.
have one, web, which is meaning wired equivalency protocol. And we also have the second one, which is Wi-Fi protected access. Wi-Fi protected access. This one used to have versions. I think I can remember you still have version 2 or more. You can even have more than that. Now, that's for wireless security protocol. We also have what we call encryption. Encryption
Okay.
is the way information or data is being hidden or is being I don't know how to put it now. Encrypt is just to make something unreadable. Like if I encrypt, my encryption can be, for instance, I can decide to encrypt this radius. Okay, now maybe I have a friend now. We have our encryption code. Our A, our A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and all of that. So I can decide that, oh, if I want to write radius, I write it using numbers. It's only me and the person understands that 1 means A and all of that. That's our encryption pattern or code or something. So in encryption, we have different, excuse me, we have
Bless you.
different encryption patterns. We have T, K, KIP, and A, E, AES. Now we have much, much more. more than this type of encryption pattern, but in wireless, these are the two that I know we have so far. And these two works on this WPA. And one more thing you need to know is that web, don't you ever use web as a security protocol. Never try to use it because it is not secured. In fact, people can hack through a wireless network that is being designed with web. You understand? Okay. Um, this is sorry. Okay, what I've succeeded in teaching you is authentication method. That's number one thing you need to know. Wireless security protocols and encryption methods. These are the three basic things you need to know. Of course, I've explained what authentication method is, and I explained security protocols. You can use two of them, and you don't use web because it's not secured. It can easily be read. And the encryption, you have TKIP, and AES. I swear, this TKIP, don't try to use it because it is not that very secured. This one is much more secured than that in encryption. Now, wireless. Wireless has its own benefits and demerits as well. Now, in wireless, it is very easy to set up a wireless. You don't need um, stress. Like for instance, you have an office that has up to like 20 users or 20 employees. It is very stressful for you to start running cables to each of the systems. So you can actually use wireless in such scenario and it will cover everybody. Everybody will get connected. So it is very easy to set up and it is easy to maintain because you just need to buy only one access point. And with that access point, you are good to go. Unlike wired aspect of it. Wired aspect, you have to um, do a lot of things, get ready for cabling, terminating of cables, and all of that. But wireless is easy. And again, another benefit is that mobility. You can easily move around. You can even transfer the network to another location. For instance, you have an office that have about 50 persons that are connected and they now want to demobilize. You can easily just pack your things and shift. It don't take you so much. The same thing with scalability. You can easily upgrade the network. Maybe if you are covering distance of 100, you can increase it to 250 meters just by buying additional access points. It is flexible. It can provide anywhere, anyhow, no matter how the place is and all of that. But even in the fact that it is flexible, you still need to consider some things that wireless can be absorbed by thick walls. Like now, you don't expect to set up a wireless in a place where you have thick wire. You expect that other people are behind will be able to connect. Sometimes they will be able to connect, but they will be having some challenges with signal strength. Because when wireless, when the wave is passing through the wall absorbs it. And as the wall absorbs it, the signal strength reduces. And if it reduces, that means someone that is connecting through that will not have a reasonable data speed. Also, it is cost effective. It is not expensive to set up using wireless. Just buy your access point, you're checking everything not finished. And installation is very easy to install. Maybe now you have maybe in a camp meeting or emergency, just emergency network or emergency building that just needs people to get connected. You can just use wireless and set up everything, and everybody's good to go. And also, it can be used in a harsh environment, where environment where I already talk about it to emergency and hostile environment. Hostile environment can be in a place whereby you don't have enough, maybe the walls are not good for you to lay cables, or even the ground. It can be in an open field. Instead of you running cables and all of that, you can just get an AP, set it up, and everybody connects to it. So wireless is actually very good, but it has its own demerits. One more thing about wireless is that, as in the limitations of wireless, is that it is not secured. Someone can easily tap into your network. But I mean, someone can hack into your network. That is security, and steal your data, or manipulate the data, or do something with the data. Now, interference, it can be interfered with. If you have uh, another wireless device propagating data, it can actually jam your own if that own has higher power. That's why sometimes uh, some churches that are very close, when they are having their service, you see some people be talking and you not be hearing it at the other mic, the other speaker, and all of that. That's interference. So such times when the propagating power of one, so as is the other one, it will not jam the other one and suppress the other one. So wireless can easily be interfered. So that's one of the limitations of wireless outside a security issue, vulnerability. Now also technology too. You still need to be mindful of the compatibility of technology.
You need to.
Hello, are you there? Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. So technology, you still need to be conscious about the technology that you're using. Just as I said before, compatibility and all of that, and all of that. So these are the limitations of wireless LAN technology. Um, this was I've explained this. I just want us to show you or explain more about these things in configuration. Okay. Now, before we talk about configuration, before we talk about configuration, or I can still do that in configuration anyway. Okay, I will come back to this in configuration. Hold on. Are you with a packet tracer?
No,
Hello?
I've not opened it yet. Send it about this to get to me.
Just from here, for just try and see how you can install packet tracer, so that
Okay, I'll do that.
sometimes if I'm doing something, you can be doing it at same time over your own.
I'll do it tomorrow. I will.
Okay, so now I want just to show you how to configure a wireless device. Maybe with that I will explain other things too. Now this is my AP. Coming wireless device. Let me take a wireless route. Take this router for instance. I'll use this router for now. Then I have systems and laptops. This was smartphones and all of that. Now you see that this one, as soon as I set up this is a router, a new router. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
This is just a router that I just bought. I set up a network and I didn't configure that router. If I didn't configure the router, authentication method becomes open. So anybody can connect to it. Now I want to configure this router. Now for you to configure a network device, router, AP, and all of that, if you want to configure it, if this is a router, what you need to do is that get that router, um, connect your cable. You see this where I'm pointing my cursor? Can you see my cursor? These four cables. Hello?
Hey.
Yeah, any of these four ports, connect to it and connect to your laptop. Then check at the back or around the body of the router. You will see username and password of the router, including the including the IP address of the router. So what you do is that you go to a browser, as you can see on my browser, and enter the IP address of the router. Just as you can see my browser now. If the IP address is 192.168.1.1, you just enter it and press enter. As soon as you press enter, it will open the router. And what you're going to see on the router is going to be this. Where you must have put your password, username and password. So you're going to see something close to this. Now, my concern is on the wireless. Now, on the wireless, we have what we call SSID. SSID, I don't know the full meaning of it, but I suppose it might be service set identifier. Service set identifier is the name of your wireless LAN. Just as now, if I click on this place, okay, now, if I click on this place now, these are, okay, I don't have any wireless network around me. So if I click on this, all the wireless network around me, they will all display with their respective name. And that their name has been configured here. So if you configure your wireless, if you want your wireless LAN name to be something like a Cisco, or you want to make it like a my, okay, my one, my WireLAN. Oh, say my WireLAN. If I want someone to see a wireless network called WireLAN, this is the name, SSID. So my SSID is my one. That's what is going to appear when someone is checking network to connect to. That's SSID. Now, I didn't talk about channel. Okay. Now, um, channel. Okay, channel is very simple. Now, channel, as you can see here, we have channel. Look at this channel. We have channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, till channel 10. Each of them has its own frequency. You see the channel 1, it has 2.412. Channel 2 has 2.47 and all of that. The differences of the channel is what? I think it's 5. It's about 5 hex
Yes.
and all of that. Now, when you are setting up any wireless device, not just AP, you can be setting up a radio, like a radio that points from your office in Ikeja, from your office in Ikeja to office in Oshodi, for instance, is a wireless device. So when you set it up, you are meant to Okay, let me not talk about that one now. Okay, let me take this one now. When you have a wireless network at one place, I think it's better that way. If you have a wireless, when you want to set up ESS, I explain what ESS is. We are setting up ESS. One of the APs will have its own channel. Maybe it might be on channel one. It is advisable that if you are setting up the next one, give space of 5 channels to avoid interference. Like now, this one is on channel one. If I'm setting up another access point, I want to put it on channel what? 6 to avoid interference. Do you understand?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay, what I'm saying is that channel, we have channel 1 to, we have channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of that till 10. Now, assuming that this is AP, this is just an AP. And I have this. Okay, let's just take this one. This router now is on one. It's not really right for me to say that. Take this one as an AP access point because this router is 3-in-1. It has access point, switching, and routing capability. So it's 3-in-1. So what I'm actually working on is the access point. So assuming that this is access point proper, when you're setting up an access point, you're going to see something like this. When you have your SSID and all of that and all of that. Now, standard channel, the channel I can use, maybe I can start to use channel 1. Now, when I am setting up the second AP, that will make up the ESS, I am meant to use another channel, possibly channel 6 and above. Why? Is because I am trying to avoid interference. So it's always advisable that whenever you are setting up a wireless device, two wireless devices that are close to themselves, separate them with at least 5 channel difference. If this one is on channel 1, the other one will be on channel 6. If this one is on channel 2, the other one will be on channel 7. If this one is on channel 3, the other one is supposed to be on channel 8. Do you understand? Just difference of 5 channel at least to avoid interference. But I mean interference jamming and all of that. So do you get? Hello?
I
Hello?
do.
Okay.
I am.
So
I'm listening to you.
okay. So SSID, I've explained what SSID is. If you want to broadcast it, as in what I mean by broadcasting is that when someone check wireless connection, people will be able to see it. If you enable it, it means that if I click here, I'll be able to see like this one. I can see Tixi, Facebook, or Pay, and all of that. But if I set,
and all of that.
if I have set SSID to be disabled, I won't be able to see it here. So to enable it is that someone can actually see it, can search for it and see it. So it depends on you if you want to disable it or not. Now on wireless security, I can decide to use what I've explained to you before. This these ones are referred to as security protocols. Now it is disabled because it's disabled. That is why we can just connect. Anybody can just connect. But if I want to enable it, I can use web. And I said web can easily be hacked. It's not that very much secured. So if you are establishing your security mode, always use WPA. You have WPA personal, enterprise, WPA2 personal, and enterprise. Enterprise is when you are using radios. I will teach you this one later on, but not now because you won't understand it when I start because we've not even done IP address. Now, the one I'm going to use is going to be personal. Okay, let me use version 2, which is more secured. In version 2 of this security protocol, it has encryption. encryption is TKIP and AES. And I said, excuse me, I said AES is more secured. The encryption of AES is more reliable than TKIP. So this is going to be the password. The paraphrase. The paraphrase is going to be the password. So assuming that the password I want to use is Cisco, for instance. If I do Cisco and I'll now go and save it. Should be minimum of 8 and all of that. Okay, so it should be minimum of 8. Let me say Cisco 2021. I've saved it. You see that I have disconnected this way for now. Now before they were connected because it was open. I was using open authentication. But now I've passworded it. So they need to use the password to connect. You understand? Now, if I want to now connect using this, why is it taking time? Okay, let me see if I can connect to a laptop. For laptops, what's going on? What's going on? Let's save it with classwork. See whether it could open. I don't know why it's not opening now. Hold on, let me yeah. Classwork. Sorry, I have to shut down. Something is wrong with the packet tracer. Well, I think I've known why it is so. So that's just wireless. Okay. As we're waiting for the packet tracer to come up. So the basic security measures you need to take is that you will change the default value of SSID. Now, SSID always have its own default value. Change it to something else. If there is any need for user and password, you put it. You can disable the broadcast of SSID if you want to. Hold on, I'm coming. I think this is behaving like this because I am online. Okay. Now, for advanced security measures, you don't configure using this web. Don't use web, it's not more secured. Always go for WPA version 2. I will explain this one. Okay, configure authentication 2, like the passwording and all of that. You can filter traffic if it has that. Filtering traffic is what can be allowed and what could not be allowed to pass through your AP. Now, you can also filter MAC address. There's a possibility that someone can get the password. For instance, you are working in a company and you set up your AP address, you give someone the password, and the person decides to share the password to everybody. Know that everybody that has the password has access to your network. And you wouldn't want such thing because it will make your network vulnerable to attack. In such case, you can actually filter MAC addresses of your users. Filtering MAC address, I'm waiting for the packet tracer. For you to filter MAC addresses means that you have to register MAC addresses of people that you want to have access to the network. If anybody's name or MAC address is not registered in the filter, the person won't be able to connect, even if the person knows the password. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Even the person knows the password. Like for instance, this guy now has tablet and he wants to connect to the Wi-Fi. Connecting to the Wi-Fi. Where can I connect to the Wi-Fi? Wants to connect. So I'm coming. Okay, I'm using. No. Okay, the person wants to connect to Wi-Fi. First, the person has to go use the same security protocol that I'm using, wireless security protocol. And the password I gave was Cisco 2021. So as soon as the person registers with that, and SSID I used was, I think my WLAN. Sorry, WLAN. So let me use this particular one. Need the one that will give me access straight. Hold on. Okay, for PC. Hello, are you there? Hello? 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 Hello?